If you meet me at the corner of Russell and Albina, just about a block from Mississippi Avenue, I'll take you to a house where they hang carpets on the wall. And if we go there on a Sunday, there's a song I'll take you through.
Welcome to Open Mic America. Today, Evan Acey is our fearless engineer, and Rich Fassler will be our interviewing host, and I, Daphne Ramil, will be your MC. Our mission is to support the local open mics, and it is our pleasure to present the more accomplished singer-songwriters who play at these events. Without any gimmicks or frills, this is the beating heart of American music, the tapestry of song and story that's been weaving us together for generations. And now let's introduce this Sunday's performers. We are going to start with Paul Colombino from Wakefield, Rhode Island. Wave to us, Paul. And then we are going to hear from Dan and Faith, Charleston, New Hampshire. Hank Stone from East Patchogue, New York. Stuart Campbell from Vancouver, Washington. Carol Wise from Brunswick. Brunswick, she's going to have to tell me where from. Maine, from Maine. She's from Maine. Charles Absher from Avondale Estates in Georgia. Evan Purcell from Tacoma, Washington. And Mark Bishop Evans from Phoenix, Arizona. And you can find all their work on our website and on links to the work on this YouTube video also. So the website also has links to their work. And without further ado, let's start with our first guest, who is going to be Paul Colombino from Wakefield, Rhode Island. And his favorite open mic is the Pump House Music Works in Peacedale, Rhode Island. Take it away, Paul.
Thank you, Daphne. I'm going to play a couple of my own tunes tonight here. This first one is called Finding Home. I wrote it for a play that I worked on with a local playwright a few years back. It's called Finding Home. Heading for home now that I've found out what I was seeking, hoping to find, was right in my own yard. It doesn't seem so hard now that I've found this place called home. The answer is clear now. I see what is here now, watching the waves roll onto the shore. I found my way slowly to where it was only a matter of time to find my home. In all of my travels, I try to unravel all of the mysteries that I fear, but I never noticed the people who know this. All of my searching leads right here. Finally home now. I'm not on my own now that I've found this place called home. finally home now. I'm not on my own now. Now that I found this place called home. Now that I found this place called home. Now that I found this place called home.
That was fabulous.
Yeah.
Oh, what a way to start.
Beautiful.
Wonderful.
Gorgeous.
Yeah. Lovely.
Ah.
Man.
It would be quicker to switch guitars than switch tunings, so that's what I'm doing here. Apparently I was wrong about that. All right, that's not too bad. This song is in a tuning called Dadgad, D-A-D-G-A-D. I just saw the master of Dadgad tuning the other night, Pierre Ben Susan, and he was playing right up here at the Pump House Music Works that I mentioned. Fabulous guitar player, but such a soulful writer and singer and player, just an amazing talent. So if you ever get a chance to listen to Pierre Ben Susan, if you haven't yet, definitely worth a check out. So this is my song in Dadgad. It's called Everheart.
Beautiful.
Wow. So beautiful.
Wow. So, Paul, it's really great hearing and talking to you again. The last time I interviewed, I was an interview on here. You were on here as well, and I was blown away then. I'm blown away again. I know you started playing guitar at an early age, and as you say in your bio, to meet girls, and like a lot of us guys did. So you've been playing a long time. I'm wondering, um, how has your music changed over those decades of playing?
Oh, that's a good question. I think when I started out, like most people, I just was playing what I heard on the radio and on my own records, and I just was kind of inspired by a lot of players. And as I started to, get a little bit further with the instrument, I started, I started to write some on my own pretty early. I mean, maybe around 15 or 16, I started writing some of my own songs. And what I found was that that level of creativity was a whole different thing um, than playing other people's tunes. For one thing, it gave you the freedom to do whatever you want.
Right.
And for another, it was like, okay, the creative possibilities here are, probably literally endless. So that part of it I really enjoyed. So I started writing more and playing more. And as I was doing this, I was also listening to some people that played the same style of music as I did, and that really changed the way that I played a lot too. I just would hear somebody and say, "Oh, wow, that sounded cool. I'd like to learn how to do that." And I figure out how to do that, and then I try to, incorporate it into my own playing. So that's kind of the way it's changed. And now that I'm getting into my older years here, it's sort of like I'm playing a lot more of my own stuff and not too many covers because it's just like, why not? I might as well
Yeah.
just do what I like to do and what I want to do, and let Bob Dylan be Bob Dylan. I don't have to be him anymore.
No, that's very true. And I noticed, I know you mentioned it, but when I watch guitar players now, I'm always looking to see if the chords look familiar, and when they don't, I figure it's special tuning. So, do you, with your originals, do you compose them with special tunings most of the time, or
Yeah, I
um,
do. I do. I usually will start with some kind of an altered tuning, and what I find is the tuning a lot of times suggests certain things, certain melodies, certain chord progressions. Um, and what happens sometimes is I'll stick with that tuning throughout the whole song, but other times I'll start writing the song and I'll find that there are some notes that I can't get in that tuning. So I'll alter that altered tuning to a different one. So I've done that quite a few times. Um, and that part of it is the part that makes me actually feel good about doing that because it's like, okay, I'm writing this musically. I'm not just writing the things that are easy to find. It's like I want that note. I can't find it. I got to figure out a way to find it.
right, right. And I mean, you mentioned Dadgad. I mean, who doesn't love Dadgad?
Such
Dadgad
a,
sounds so, I know, it sounds so beautiful. It's hard to hit a wrong note
it
with
really is.
Dadgad. Yeah, it's really great. So,
Speaking of wrong notes, I just wanted to say that I think in that first tune, I played this minor second a couple of times. I didn't really intend to, but I think I might leave it in because I
it
kind of,
works. That's the beauty of it. So, your latest album is "Hello, Old Friend." Is that correct?
yes. Yep.
And I noticed it's so you had mentioned it was trending on FAI Folk Chart top albums of the month, right?
Yep.
So how does that happen? How do you get picked up when you come up? Because there are a lot of albums go out there, but how did you connect with that?
Well, it's a secret. I don't want to tell anybody.
Well, I understand.
No,
Maybe
that's
you can
not
tell
true.
me after the
No,
show.
that's not true at all. I actually work with a promoter. There are some folk music promoters out there that I actually a couple of them that I met at um, the NERFA conference last year at the New England Regional Folk Alliance concert, and I met some of those. Actually, I met them virtually, online, and they actually do this. This is what they do for a living. So they're experts at it. They have, a lot of connections with the folk radio industry, and so I send them my songs. They tell me they like the songs or they don't, but they said they did, and so they pitched them to a whole bunch of radio stations, and fortunately, a lot of them agreed and liked it, so they played it.
Ah, very, very, very cool. And just finally, I noticed that you perform virtually, even though things have opened up, and you also perform live. around your area. And I know some musicians who, just have stopped doing virtual, performing, and now that things have opened up. So, do you think you continue to do both, or one day, live will just, push kind of virtual to the side?
I actually kind of enjoy the virtual playing too. I like both. It's just a different experience. It's like it's comfortable for one. I don't have to lug a bunch of equipment around, which is
Yeah.
nice too. And I get to meet people that I otherwise wouldn't meet, like in this format.
Sure.
I'm playing alongside of people from Washington and wherever else in the United States, and that's a great thing. I get to virtually meet a lot of people that I wouldn't have an opportunity to really um, catch up with at all. So I really think that that's a cool aspect. So I think I'll continue to do both. Yeah.
All right. Great. All right. Well, hey, listen, it was great seeing and hearing you again, and look forward to having you come back at a future date.
All right. Thanks for
Right?
having me.
Daphne, back to you.
Well, thank you so much. What a wonderful way to open this show. Thank you so much, Paul. And now we are welcoming Dan and Faith back from Charleston, New Hampshire. And they love the Parish Center for the Arts open mic in Westford, Massachusetts. It's not so near where they are now, but they used to play there all the time. And they want to say that they also know Mark Bishop Evans from their time in that area. So this is really quite the community, and it's fun that we get to meet online as well. So, Dan and Faith, it's all you now.
Thanks, Daphne.
Thank you and good evening. It being the fall season, we're going to start with a song that I wrote for my brother called Falling into Autumn Leaves. It's a memory from childhood.
Wrong song.
Wrong song. Let's try the right song.
That's better.
Growing up, the two of us didn't always get along. In a place where we felt we never quite belonged. Rode our bikes, went on hikes everywhere in town. Quiet of the Berkshire Hills echoed all around. Full moon rising over empty fields. Tree trunks standing, lonesome and revealed. Pleasant smell of wood smoke drifts upon the breeze, falling into autumn leaves. Off to New York City with people everywhere, new schools and new friends, smog heavy in the air. We teamed up to tell stories, your words, my photographs. Went to movies, jazz clubs, had ourselves some laughs. Full moon rising over empty fields, tree trunks standing, lonesome and revealed. Pleasant smell of wood smoke drifts upon the breeze, falling into autumn leaves. College years, different towns, becoming better friends. Visit one another, the good times we had then. Years have passed, temples gray, still it brings me joy to think about when we were just little boys. The truth is I miss those bygone days. That big old maple tree, the leaves in which we played, snow forts in the winter, the world all seemed brand new. Most of all I miss spending time with you. Full moon rising over empty fields, tree trunks standing, lonesome and revealed. Pleasant smell of wood smoke drifts upon the breeze, falling into autumn leaves. Never in my life have I been so at ease as when we were young and falling into autumn leaves. For David.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, well,
timely. What a timely song.
Well, Faith swaps instruments when we were little kids, we lived in a house in the Berkshires in western Massachusetts. This enormous maple tree in the front yard. We'd rake up all the leaves, pull out a stepladder, climb up, and dive in. The tree was so big that when we put our arms out, we couldn't touch fingers around the tree. So that was where that song originated.
Yeah, sadly, the house where that tree was, they cut the tree down a few years back. But when Dan and I first met, he took me to the house and showed me this amazingly huge tree. It was beautiful.
That's good. All right, well, we'll do another one that is actually seasonal. Tell you a little bit about harvest time in New England.
Yeah.
Crisp New England air on an autumn morning. Songbirds at the feeder greet sunrise as they sing. Leaves begin to fade in colors bright and bold. Whispers on the wind, another year grows old. The passing of the seasons, summer into fall. Soon enough, winter winds will sound their siren call. The years pass too quickly, and yet we can't complain. Come next year, we'll be right here rejoicing again. So set the table, light the candles, it's harvest time once more. Sunny days, chilly nights, wind knocks at the door. Apple pie from the oven, sure to delight. Celebrate this bounty and autumn's fading light. Clouds soar overhead through gently swaying trees. In this time of dreams and joyful memories, the firewood is stacked and the peaches have been canned, working hand in concert with the land. So set the table, light the candles, it's harvest time once more. Sunny days, chilly nights, wind knocks at the door. Apple pie from the oven, sure to delight. Celebrate this bounty and autumn's fading light. Harvest time is bittersweet, we cannot help but sigh. Another trip around the sun, days are passing by. As we settle into winter and cold winds start to blow, we'll think about next season and the crops that we will grow. There's taters in the cellar and wheat to see us through. The kale will winter over till springtime skies turn blue. So set the table, light the candles, it's harvest time once more. Sunny days, chilly nights, wind knocks at the door. Apple pie from the oven, sure to delight. Celebrate this bounty and autumn's fading light. Celebrate together on this joyful night. Harvest time.
That was fabulous, guys. Wonderful.
Cut in the season for me. Thank you.
Perfect for November.
Yes, yes. So Dan and Faith, so you're a married couple. You also
Yes.
perform together,
Yep.
and to me, that is kind of a magical connection, because it kind of multiplies the personal connection that naturally occurs between band members, especially when you're singing harmony. So am I correct, or does it make it more complicated when you're in a band with your spouse?
Yes.
Good answer, actually.
All right, well, let me cross that
Yes,
off
I
my
mean,
list.
yeah, it has pluses and minuses. So, on
Yeah.
the positive side, built-in partner. I mean, it's fabulous having, and we have so many friends who they tour, but they have a spouse at home, and it complicates things, and this is so much easier. But on the other hand, there's also, the fact that, when we walk into a music store, there's nobody to talk us out of buying things.
Is that a problem? I don't understand.
It can be.
Sometimes.
There are a fair number of instruments
Yeah.
in the closet here and in the next room's closet. So
Yeah.
yes, that happens.
But that happens to people who aren't married together. I mean,
True.
You just don't have somebody else saying, "Why did you spend money on that?" Because we
Right.
get talked out of it. So.
Yeah.
Most of us others, performers who aren't performing with their spouses always get the question, "Do you really need another guitar?"
The answer is yes.
Of course, you always need one more than you have.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and the problem being, if he needs another guitar, then I need another instrument too, and it kind of mushrooms from there.
Yeah. So I'm up to 2 banjos. Didn't play banjo tonight, but I've been playing banjo a lot in the last several years, and decided, I need to have a second banjo. So
Stringed
But you
instruments
do,
are
be,
her
but you
animal.
do, because something could happen to that first
Exactly.
banjo.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm with you. I mean,
when we're on tour, I often take a second guitar because reality is that, if anything happens to any of the other instruments, we can work around that in the set list, and we just have some songs we can't play because the dulcimer isn't working properly or the
Right.
bass isn't working properly. If we don't have a guitar is behind about 2/3 or maybe more of the songs.
It's at least 90% of
Yeah.
our setup.
Right.
So, yeah.
yeah, and then the problem is too, the more instruments you have, the more you got to bring in, take in with you to the gig, and then set them up and sit there.
We refer
so
to ourselves as the Sunny Expeditionary Force when we go in for shows.
Yeah.
'Cause
It's always 6 instruments. We got to play in Nashville at an outdoor festival a few weeks back,
which was fun.
which was great. But we had to park a good distance from
At
the
least
place.
5 blocks uphill to get to the venue, which was
The
not
blocks
bad.
are pretty long, but so we each had an instrument on our backs and instruments in hands and bags of instrument stands and cables and all that kind of stuff.
And the merch and
Right.
yeah, it was.
you got to go online and get that cart, right? You
We
need
can't fit
the
it in
cart.
the van.
Yeah, we're pretty packed. So we travel around the country in a little camper van, and we just got back we were on the road for 6 or 7 weeks.
About 7 weeks. Yeah.
Wow.
All over the Midwest
so-
and out west and south.
Yeah, that sounds great though. I mean, it is kind of exciting though, right?
It
I
is.
mean,
It is
yeah.
I mean,
fun.
we make sure there's enough time in the schedule to actually see the country. I mean, that's if we're going to be out there traveling through various states, I want to actually go to national parks and state parks and tourist, and odd roadside.
Roadside America. We found Carhenge.
Somebody built Stonehenge out of cars.
Good
and
to
it's
know.
in Nebraska.
And we found it on the autumnal solstice, the autumnal equinox.
Right.
That was the day we were there.
Yeah.
It's like, how would you come across that otherwise?
Yeah.
No, you wouldn't. Not that you'd want to, but yeah.
Well,
We were excited by it. It was like,
Okay.
"See, we've got Carhenge. Yeah.
All right, so listen, I saw a video of you guys doing New Vision at stage 33, and I noticed you were both dressed alike. And tonight, I see you performing. You're both dressed alike. Whose idea was this?
It just kind of happened.
I think I probably pushed it a little bit. But,
Yeah, probably.
and in the summertime, it's either the red T-shirts, red polo shirts. When it's colder out, it's 70 degrees out right now in New England, which is crazy.
nuts.
But
It is.
normally in the wintertime, we would be in matching flannels from the Vermont Flannel Company. They make them just across the river from
Okay.
us in Vermont. So
Yeah, but I think if we were wearing flannels tonight, we would die.
Well, we could use flannels. I'm up in the Pacific Northwest on the Puget Sound, and we're in the 40s now, I think. And
Yeah.
for the rest of the week, the lows are going to be in the 30s. So
We have friends who were just traveling down, and they were in San Diego County in California, and they had snow.
and they're from Connecticut, where it was 70
Where it was
degrees.
in the 80s. So, yeah.
So, one final question. So, reading a little bit about you, you guys describe your music as dream-inspired folk.
Yes.
So, what do you mean by that?
Well, we got into songwriting about 17 years ago from a workshop with Pete and Maura Kennedy, the Kennedys. And it was using lucid dreaming and meditation as inspiration for songwriting. And lucid dreaming is when, while you're dreaming, you realize you're dreaming. And you can play with your dreams. You can fly, you can rewind, fast forward, you can do all kinds of things. And neither of the songs we played tonight came from a dream as such. Some imagery in each probably, but
we have lots of
we
songs
have lots of
that we've
songs,
done
yeah.
that are based on dreams. We keep notebooks on the bedside to capture anything that we think of.
Yeah, yesterday we were in the Berkshires in Western Mass to close up a cabin that's been in my family since I was born. And the last song that we sang, because we were rehearsing yesterday, last song we sang is Old Cabin, which is on our latest album, Then and Now. And Old Cabin came from a lucid dream of seeing a cabin on a hilltop that I was sure I had seen before in a dream 10 years prior. I don't know how I knew that, but that's what made me become lucid, and I spent lots of time looking around that cabin. So the song starts out in this little cabin on a hilltop, and much of it is actually about our cabin.
The family cabin.
Interesting. Wow.
And about, in the backyard there's a rock with piled stones, marks the place where ashes laid to rest. My dad and his parents are all, their ashes are all in the backyard. But the song is really, a lot of it's about that cabin. So as our parting gift to the cabin last night before we left, we sang the song for it.
Very cool. All right. Well, great. Oh, wow. I'm going to have to look into that. That sounds very, very interesting. All right. Well, hey, listen, it was great having you perform tonight. It's always a pleasure. And I look forward to seeing you come back again.
Thanks so much.
Right? Daphne, back to you.
Wow, thank you for that, and such an interesting interview also. Speaking of places all over the country, I just wanted our audience to note that except for 2 people from the state of Washington, we have other people from other states. No other 2 people are from the same state. So Washington wins, but we have people from all over the country on the show today, and I think that that's a win for all of us. Now, speaking of, we are going to go to East Patchogue, New York, and we are going to hear from Hank Stone. Hank Stone would like to shout out the North Shore Original Open Mic at Cinema Arts Center in Huntington, New York, every Wednesday evening, hosted by Toby Tobias. Take it away, Hank.
Thank you, Daphne. I just have to say to Dan and Faith, who I've met at NERFA and SURFA and around, it's kind of cosmic because you're talking about dreams, and I had planned to do this song. It's called Dreams Without You. So here we go.
Had a dream on a cold moonless night. There was light in the dream, but it wasn't about you. Woke up from the dream, wondering what it could mean. Woke up to find that I was without you. Why choose the meanings of dreams remain unclear? Why does our waking life seem so sincere? Don't know which is worse. Nights without sleep, sleep without dreams, or dreams without you. I turn and I toss, get up, pace the floor, dreaming that you will walk through the door. I turn off the light, get back into bed, dreaming that I could take back what I said. Why do the meanings of dreams remain unclear? Why must our waking lives feel so sincere? Don't know which is worse, nights without sleep, sleep without dreams, or dreams without you. Don't know which is worse, nights without sleep, sleep without dreams, or dreams without you. Sleep without dreams, or dreams without you.
There.
Great, Hank.
So this one goes out to the people of Ukraine. This is called Sunflower Parade.
I am sunflower, in light I believe, in peace and in power, from Kansas to Kiev. When you suffer and bleed, when you're under the gun, follow my lead, turn your face to the sun. I cast my seeds to the wind and to the birds. Democracy's deeds in Ukrainian words. The soldiers will yield, their bodies will fade, marching into the field in a sunflower parade, a sunflower parade. And I am sunflower, in light I believe, in peace and in power, from Kansas to Kiev. When you suffer and bleed, when you're under the gun, follow my lead, turn your face to the sun. I cast my seeds to the wind and to the earth. Democracy's deeds in Ukrainian words. The soldiers will yield, their bodies will fade, marching into the field in a sunflower parade, a sunflower parade. A sunflower parade.
Yeah, that was great, Hank.
Thank you for that one. Oh, Hank. Hank.
Yeah, very,
Loved it.
Yeah, very cool song. Hey, so Hank, so what I try to do is I try to find out a little bit about the performers, before I, write up my interviewing questions, and no webpage for you. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
No,
Sorry.
I'm only kidding. Hey, listen, I viewed 1 year from now on YouTube. You're at the Cinema Arts Center. You posted just
Right.
a few days ago. Really great, really enjoyable. I mean, you sounded excellent. Really enjoyed that.
Thank you much. Thank you.
So, how long have you been playing?
Oh, I think I first learned guitar. I was 8 years old, and before the Beatles. A lot of guys our age, the story is, they heard the Beatles and they immediately wanted to get a guitar. Well, I already had the guitar before that, so.
So you wanted to be Elvis Presley? Is that what happened?
No, I was. It was just, it was offered at school, and they had teacher come in and teach like 4 instruments at the time: accordion and clarinet, and So
Lucky for you picked the guitar.
right, and I've been playing ever since. I started writing songs, I guess, when I was around 18 or so, and
Yeah.
been doing it for a long time. And I didn't really come out playing on the local scene until about 20 years ago, and it's been a good run since then. I've met a lot of good people to collaborate with, and it's been fun.
Yeah. So, so you said you started writing music when you were 18. So who were you listening to when you were 18 years old? Who were the performers or groups that were kind of shaping what you were playing?
Well, I guess I said Beatles, Stones, and Dylan.
Yeah.
All the rock stars. Crosby, Stills, Nash, Jefferson Airplane, Procol Harum. I had so many favorites, and then some
Yeah.
of the folk people like Richie Havens, Simon
Sure.
Garfunkel. It was all the whatever was popular and sounded cool.
Right.
And
Yeah. I mean,
Jackson Brown, Van Morrison.
yeah. I hate to say this because it makes me sound like, an old guy. But man, there was some good music back then. I mean, there were songs, not a whole lot of spoken word. I mean, there were melodies and just really a lot of stuff going on. So when you were playing back then, I mean, were you always acoustic, or a lot of us, got an acoustic guitar, but then we wanted to get an electric guitar because we wanted to be in a rock band. What was your story?
Well, when I started, it was on acoustic. Of course, they always generally start with a small thing for the age when you're 8 years old, and then
Sure.
I graduated up to a Spanish guitar. I started taking lessons with a professional teacher for about 3 years, and I had the big old Spanish guitar with the F holes, arch top, and
Wow, yeah.
foolishly, I stopped taking the lessons. I think I would have been better off of it, but I have a good grounding in the technique on that, but I've forgotten a lot of it. But and then eventually we decided, a couple of guys in the neighborhood, let's get a band together. So
Of course.
sold the acoustic, you get electric, and I eventually got back to the acoustic years later, and just kind of backing up into the more of a folk sound than a
Gotcha.
rock and roll.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think that's a story with a lot of us of a certain age. So, kind of a non-musical question. Your guitar that you're playing has a wonderful low end to it. What kind of guitar is that, or is it the strings? I don't know. I'm just
It's
how
probably
do
a
you get that low
combination.
end?
It's a Martin. They call it the Performing Artist Series, GPCPA 01 or something, and it's got all this fancy stuff built into the pickup with it models all these different microphones. I don't understand all that tech stuff.
Okay,
So I just
yep.
basically plug in. But the strings, I've recently gone to coated strings, so that might have been I think I'm liking the sound of that, so I'll probably stick with those.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, it really sounds great. When I play my guitar, yeah, it also has a pickup in it, and I'm always pumping up the bass because just don't get that low end like you've got on that. It sounds really great. So there's a rumor floating around that you're starting to record your 4th album this month. Is that is that true?
Yes. Yeah, where'd you hear that rumor?
Oh, listen, don't ask. I can't divulge my
You couldn't
sources.
find my website, but you got the rumor.
Well, listen, I have my ways. Okay, so question for you now. When you decide to, okay, it's time. I'm gonna, do an album. Do you have all your songs? I mean, they're ready to go. You got 12 or 14 or 10 or whatever number, or do you just start and then kind of add them in as you go? And do you go off to a studio, or do you have your own home studio where you do that?
Well, I wish I had my own studio because I could, just put things down as they come up with them, and just I'd get, because I have hundreds of songs and I can't get them all done. It would be prohibitive, time and money wise. But I was lucky. The first two albums I worked with a friend of mine who has his own studio, and we kind of built that up. I had no idea what songs. I'd bring him a couple songs, and he'd throw some bass lines on there or a piano, and we just built up the songs as we went along. And then I'd maybe write a new one. And so over the course of like a year and a half, it developed. So there was some of the newer songs and some older ones. And at this point too, I've got, for choosing this one, I had an offer to record this new one. I was wondering where I was going to do, and it just got this wonderful opportunity. So I sat in the studio one day, and I went through about 30-something songs, and he just listened to them then for a week or two, and he narrowed it down to 18, and then we'll probably record those and then just choose 12 or so out of that. But
right.
I might throw in, like, if I get a really good new one that comes in, I'll probably say, hey, we have to put this one on too. So it's never really easy. It's the choice is like, you got to figure out what's going to work out best in a studio situation.
Yeah. All right. Well, great. Well, good luck with that. Look forward to hearing it. And thanks for coming on tonight. Great hearing you, and hope to see you back here sometime in the future.
Yeah, thanks again.
All right, you bet. Daphne, back to you.
Thank you, Hank. And next we're going to hear from Stuart Campbell from Vancouver, Washington. And he plays out at the Songwriters Soiree in Portland. It was out in the park with headphones the last few times. I guess kind of like silent disco, which is really a trip. But now it's indoors. And he also likes to play at the La Di Da open mic. So welcome, Stuart Campbell.
Thank you, Daphne. This first one's about an old friend of mine. You might know him too. When the evening skies begin to fade, I look for you to show your starlit face. I am never alone when you are there in the chill of the black night air. And there are many stories of your bravery. Your father dwells under the sea. Scorpius is chasing you. You don't seem to care. In the chill of the black night air, in the chill of the night, I will look for you. As you ready for your fight, moving slowly out of view. You have guided me so many years, through many miles and many tears. It's good to know you're up there now. 3 Marys form a line across your brilliant vest. Rigel is the brightest of them all, lighting up the leaves across the forest floor in the chill of the black night air. And I am walking now above a glacial pond. It's evening in my Rocky Mountain high. You are looking down, I'm looking up with a stare in the chill of the black night air. In the chill of the night, I will look to the sky. Do you see me, my old friend, moving slowly through the night? You have guided me so many years through many trials It's a gift to have a friend wherever you may go, especially at night all by yourself. Step away from that campfire glare in the chill of the black night air. And when the evening sky begins to fade, I look for you to show your starlit face. I am never alone when you are there in the chill of the black night air. In the chill of the night I will look for you, coming out behind the trees, moving slowly in view. You have guided me so many years through many trials, many tears. It's good to know you're up there now. You have guided me so many years through many trials, many tears. It's good to know you're up there now. Yeah, it's good to know you're up there now.
Oh gosh,
Oh.
what a song.
You might have guessed that my friend is Orion. Just when you're out alone and you look up and you see a familiar face, it's truly, you can go anywhere in the world. This next song is was inspired by that songwriters soiree in the park where we had, yes, the headphones. And the headphones each had blue lights on them, right? So you're out there and the sun is setting and there's blue lights everywhere. And I came in kind of fearful from watching the news. I think I'd been watching a lot of news. Don't do it. I don't recommend it. So I was carrying some stuff with me. By the time I left, all that pent-up fear was kind of gone. When the evenings... Let me get the right song up, sorry. I'm trying to do the same song with a different sheet here. It's called I Like It Here. I like it here. I like this place. Feels alright. It's a magic space. Under the oak tree, in the meadow fair. Breathe in the music, take in the air. Headphones on, the players play, and the sun is setting on this glorious day. Blue lights flicker like electric flies. I like this place, I like this night. It's all so simple, it's all so clear. Let the music carry away this endless fear. Just for now, love is real, just for now. You can feel, just for now. I like this place. I like it here. We create this world from love and song. It won't bridge the gaps between the rights and wrongs. But we're fully here. We are awake with the gift of song for all to take. So join on in to the rhythm trance. Gotta feel the music and learn the dance. It's all so simple, it's all so clear. Let the music carry away this useless fear. just for now. Love is real, just for now. You can feel, just for now. I like this place. I like it here, yeah, I like it here. I like it here. I like this place. It feels alright. It's my magic space. 'Cause it's all so simple. It's all so clear. Let the music carry away this needless fear. Just for now, love is real. Just for now, you can feel. Just for now. I like this place. I like it here. Yeah, I like it here. Yeah, I like it here.
Yeah, Stuart.
Good one.
Man.
Good. Very nice.
I like it here.
I like it here. I like it here.
It's great. So I was reading a little something about you, and at the time, I don't know how old this was that I was reading, but said you're a 60-something raised on Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young and the Moody Blues, right?
No, that's
So
fair.
yeah, me too. Although I'm 70-something, low 70-something.
Okay.
But raised on the same kind of music, and I thought that was an interesting mix because most people will say, "Oh yeah, I was raised on the Beatles and the Stones and the bop bop bop," or "Oh yeah, Dylan or the Byrds," but with Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young and the Moody Blues, it's like folk country acoustic rock versus electric rock.
Yeah, it's a little more heartfelt stuff. Yeah, right.
Yeah. So when you were, I take it at that time, I mean, did you learn guitar during that time when you were like in high school or whatever?
Yeah, actually not high school, no. I had a girlfriend in high school who left me when I started college. So I had-
Hey, let's not get into that. We all have our stories, okay?
So I had a guitar. It had 5 strings. It was a 6-string. It had 5 strings, and the key was broken, so I had to tune the other 4 down to that one key. So and then I played "Here Comes the Sun" actually, because it fit with that 5-string tuning I was using. No, but that was it. But the real story is my older brother Colin had a turntable, right, in his bedroom, and he was out with chasing girls and doing things. So I would play all his albums from Rolling Stones, Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, Joni Mitchell, and I would just put the headphones on and kind of put off some things that were happening in the house at the time. So it kind of went deep in me. So anyway, that's my story. I'm sticking to it.
Yeah, well, it sounds good. I haven't read anything that says you're not telling me the truth. So you're pretty much acoustic guitar player.
Yeah. And I some of the folks playing tonight are fabulous guitar players, and for me, it supports the songwriting and my music. That's what it's for, and enjoyment, and people like that, and I like it. But,
yeah. So how long have you been writing your own songs?
About 25 years, maybe a little more. First one I wrote for my wife is called "Sweets." Well, not the first one, but pretty close to the front.
You talking about the song, or was it your first
The
wife?
song. Yeah, right, sure. Her name was Sweets. No, it was a song called "Sweets" for my sweetie. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, so your style, who would you say, you kind of get your style from? Because it certainly isn't from the electric side. Who do you listen to now?
Yeah.
music.
Yeah. It's pretty
Because,
cool.
because when I was listening to you, I said, that doesn't. I'm not sure who that sounds like.
Yeah.
You know,
Good. Well, that's where I'm.
it is good. It is good. But
Yeah.
yeah, go ahead.
No, Mary Gaucher is one of my greatest loves right now. I just found her, so she's fabulous. I listen to a lot of James Taylor still.
Yeah, who doesn't, right?
Yeah.
Good.
Okay, so I'm experimenting. Like in that last song was with a partial capo to get a different sound. So I'm playing with some of those sounds and stuff. Who am I listening to now? Pacing the Cage. What's his name? Bruce. Not Hornsby, the other Bruce. But those kind of, they're really heartfelt, hard songs, with messages in there, but so musical that you can get through it. So what I want to do is write a combination of that, where you're listening.
When you say Bruce, were you thinking Bruce Springsteen?
No, the other guy. Yeah, he did Pacing the Cage.
Okay, yeah.
Somebody knows him. Yeah.
Yeah, I just heard an interview with Bruce Springsteen, and he said, if I can't play a song with just me and my guitar, it's not worth playing.
Yeah.
How true is that?
That's really cool.
So another question, and it's always interesting to me. Is there a certain place where you are, where the songs kind of come at you, a new idea for a song?
Yeah.
Or can it be anywhere?
Yeah. Coburn. Bruce Coburn.
Oh, Bruce Coburn. Yeah, okay.
The ideas can come anywhere, anytime. The actual writing parts, I have a lot of ideas that just go shooting right through me. I don't catch them very fast. The idea part comes from a memory or an experience that sticks with me so deep that I can't get it out of my mind. So the soiree in the park and the blue lights and the stripping away of fear, really, I had to write something. I didn't have to remember to write it because it was an experience that was so deeply reflective of where I am right at the time. So I write everything from images of experiences, and they can be fictitious. And I've got one about an old lady who's holding her husband's ashes in her arm, in a canister.
Yep.
I think I played it here. She exists to me. She is real.
Yeah.
So that's a little, maybe that's some lucid dreaming there, huh? I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. No. That's very interesting. So, do you have any albums or anything? Have you recorded?
Yes, I have one album. If you go out there and look for Stuart Campbell, you'll see that, plus 4 others that I did with a band while I was in Michigan, the Biddle City Band.
Ah.
Now,
What kind of music was that?
We were kind of into rock, a little rock folk.
Ah.
Yeah, okay. A little folk rock. I don't know which one you want to put first, but
usually it's folk rock.
Folk
right?
rock.
Yeah. All right.
That was
Cool.
fun. So.
Yeah. All right. Well, great. Well, listen, really enjoyed hearing you tonight.
Thank you for having me.
And hope to see you. Come back here. And thanks for coming. Appreciate
Shout
it.
out to everybody. The songs are just fabulous. Thank you.
Okay, Daphne.
Thank you, Stuart. That was wonderful, and I loved hearing a little bit more about you and somehow the ideas come. We are halfway through our show, and we are so lucky that it's not over because there's 4 more fantastic performers coming up. The first one being Carol Wise from Brunswick, Maine. And she likes to play at the Cadenza in Freeport, Maine. Carol, sing for us. We don't hear you, but you don't look like you're mute. You are mute. Oh, good.
All right. How's that?
I wasn't quick enough to do it for you, Carol,
That's
but
okay.
you got
That's
it.
all right. That's okay. All right. Well, it's good to be back here. What a great show. What a great venue. Great to see everyone, and good to see a few folks I saw a few months ago. So that's always great. So this first song is probably going to be the title cut to my next CD, and it's called "Around the Bend." And I'm going to invite you to take a river trip with me. And I seem to every spring gravitate to the water, to the river, and this last year, this is the song. I am like a river flowing fast and free. Around the bend I slow awaiting change in me, fearing not what's up ahead, to ride the wave and flow instead of fearing the unknown. Once I thought the river had abandoned me, until I learned to navigate, which set me free, embracing every twist and turn to recognize what's lost and learn. I know I'm not alone. We know storms will form ahead and the wind will rise. Brighter days will clear away the darkest skies. Remember what has come before. We sail for new uncharted shores, claiming our identity, fearing not what's up ahead, to ride the wave and flow instead of fearing the unknown. Around the bend I slow, waiting change in me. Around the bend.
Oh,
Oh gosh.
it was fabulous. Great, Carol. I love that song.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, the bittersweet little piece of that is I sold a kayak and some camping and hiking gear to purchase a guitar in our guitar stories. And but at least I did it to a friend of mine who's kind of like family. So the deal is, anytime you want to go out on the river, just let us know. You can take the kayak. So anyway, I'm sure I'll be doing that. So this next song, it has grown on me more and more and more. And I've been doing lyric videos to my songs, just still pictures that I take when I go out to walk and to create and to listen, so that I can write songs. They come to me in walks. And I did a film. I got a film crew to do this, and on this song, because it just means so much to me. It's about what's the one thing that I could do for the planet. How can I listen to the planet, to each other? And this song, when I got back to my writing space, I happened to look up and I saw a ladybug on the windowsill. And as I do in my mind, I'm talking to her and I said, "So what does it look like? What's going out there for you?" This is all during COVID. And she just said to me, "Listen in." And that's exactly what I did. And then all of this just kind of came pouring out. And it's called Listen In. Oh. I've changed guitars, so it's a fret thing. Sorry about that. all across the land. Will we vow to help her out and do the very best we can? And I see trees dancing in the wind, inviting all of us again to listen in. Ladybug upon the sill, climbing higher, higher still. She looks outside her window pane. How much of her world remains? And she sees trees swaying in the wind, inviting all of us again to listen in. Running all around, will it help the world slow down? I think not. Will we find a gentler way? And when we finally find authentic peace of mind, I think yes, perhaps we'll understand while we learn to listen in. Everywhere I look, I connect with you. No matter where, what, or why, I can see angels fly. Yes, I see trees dancing in the wind, inviting all of us again to listen in. It's when we finally find authentic peace of mind. I think yes, we understand, we have learned to listen in.
Beautiful, beautiful.
My gosh, I would call that a hymn,
Yeah.
girl.
Yeah.
All right, Carol, that's a great song. When I was, doing my little research over the last couple of days, I viewed that video on your website. Listen in. What a great experience! What a great video! Really great. And then I went to YouTube and listened to "A Long Way Home," from live from Cadenza. Just wonderful, really nice. Your voice, I'm a big fan. Your voice is so smooth. I could listen to you sing the phone book. I swear to God. I think everybody on the show is old enough to remember what the phone book was, right? Yeah.
Yep.
But but just really nice. So are most of your songs based on life events that happen to you and the people around you? Is that a fair statement?
I think when I first started writing back in the 70s, early 70s, I started playing seriously guitar at 8. I always like to tell the story. I run my first a song contest singing by the time I got to Phoenix by Glenn Campbell in the 4th grade.
Really?
And he, and then of course he's fantastic in his stuff. Yeah. But my first album was more about very experiential because I was just coming into myself. 17, I was already playing out in playing gigs, and but it wasn't really until I started to have a life, and I'm a teacher. I'm retired 40 years, and all that beautiful time with kids, colleagues, being in different places, and listening, of course, to the music I listen to. But I listen to a lot of symphony, and I listen to a lot of jazz and things that I don't do a lot of playing, but I have worked some of those songs out. But my stuff is really what I feel has, it speaks to me. It's like the universe speaking to me and saying, I want you to pay attention to this. We all have talking about images and dreams. It's just something that speaks. My Zen time is between 3 and 5 in the morning, and something happens there. And then I'll go out to walk, and I'll sit and whatever, under the dark skies, under the bright skies, it doesn't matter. And then it just falls out. And I go, I got to pay attention to that. And I come home, and I don't spend a lot of time writing. I don't sit down to write. I write when I'm not supposed to write, I guess is how I want to say it.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, there are times I speak for myself. There's a certain period of time, it's very early in the morning, when songs jump out at me. And the rest of the day, I mean, I'll just play guitar. But interesting that you mentioned that. What'd you say, 3 to 5 or something?
3 to 5 in the morning. I tell you, I have gotten up. I now have my phone. I used to scratch things, and I could hardly read what I wrote. But it's funny. I'm listening to. I just wake. I don't wake up. It's like I hit the button. I something, whatever's happening, I say it. I listen to it in the morning, and I get a good laugh out of it because I go, yeah, I was totally asleep right there while I was talking. So anyway, but I make heads or tails of it, and then I kind of I write it out, and then I just wait. I wait to see when I'm supposed to work on it. I don't rush that at all.
Oh, that's great.
Sometimes I write a song in 10 minutes, and sometimes it's 10 days, and sometimes it's 3 years.
Yeah, right. Yeah. It just hangs on. No, that's true. So you also you do. What was I reading here? That music and writing and photography and painting. So you had mentioned earlier that there's a song that came to you from a photo shoot, right? And so, or for some photos. And so, how often do those kind of overlap? And a painting makes you think of a song or something like that.
Yeah. So the Long Way Home that I wrote, this image has stayed with me for a long, long time. When I was living out west, I saw a painting by Margaret Ness and Taos, and I lived out there, for 13 years. And I wish I would have bought that painting when I saw it. It spoke to me in so many levels. And then 25 years has gone by, and I'm writing, and the song comes up, and I went, oh my God, it's the painting, And so I called a friend of mine in Washington, Paulsboro,
Oh,
And
Paul's boat. Yeah, right
Paul's
around the
boat,
corner
and
from me. Right.
yeah, and I said, "Would you take this project on? I'll send you my thoughts about what's going on, and then I'm going to give you creative license." And so this is how that happened. So it's the mountain, the moon, and it's either a waterway, it can be the river through the mountain, or a path. And then I wrote a song called One Path. I mean, it all just the CD, The Long Way Home. I feel it's a very empowering CD, and it just talks about how all this hard stuff that has been going on, but there's always there are silver linings if we choose to wait on that and see that. So a lot of those songs came from kind of that kind of
Yeah. And that's another. I mentioned earlier there was another CD or song that earlier tonight that had made it onto a list of either a radio station, and so that Long Way Home, I was reading charted number 18 on folk radio.
Yeah.
And so quickly, what is folk radio, and how did that happen?
Yeah, so FAI, all the alliances and folk radio, that is the new way of getting your music played. Back in the day, I had music played because I walked into a studio and I gave them my cassette and I said, "Cue up number 3, please," and they did. Doesn't work that way anymore. Stuart, I think Stuart. I'm not sure. Who's the person? Paul? Who played just the guitar on that beautiful piece with no lyrics?
Yeah, Paul. I think Paul was.
Okay. Yeah. So I hired on a manager and a promoter, and they who got my music, that CD, and we had a game plan, and it was sweet. It went out in November of 2021 was my debut, and at middle way she said, "I don't think it's going to chart." I said, "Well, listen, I haven't played for a long time. I've been caregiving for my family, and that's okay. I'm not chasing any dream. I just love to play music and write music." And 3 days later, she called me. She goes, "You charted the top 20." And I'm like,
"Wow!"
I said, "Meant to be."
Yeah.
So
no, that's great.
it's not for me. It's for those songs. I'm the messenger. It's about the songs.
And just finally, so later this month you're going to be at NERFA music conference.
Yeah,
so,
this week coming. Yes.
Yeah, give us a few thoughts. Tell us a little bit about what is NERFA.
Sure. This will be my first time. I mean, I've been a musician for 50 years, and I did not know about all these alliances because I was out doing local and regional festivals and things like that. So in my retirement, I find out about all these alliances. So I will be there. I got a couple showcases I'm pretty psyched about, and I get a chance to see people that I have met virtually. That we will see each other, and that's been happening this summer a little bit with a few festivals. Someone said, "Are you going to be at this festival?" I said, "Yeah, I'm playing," and they were there, and we've only met through this.
Yeah, right.
So it's fantastic. I'm loving that part. So I can't wait to meet a few folks that I've been talking with. And I did want to say for the West Coast people, is there anyone from the Bay Area? Because I'm playing out there in December at the back room in Berkeley, and with a friend of mine who's a cellist. And if anyone is in our group tonight that is out in California, would love to see you. It would be great to have some friends that.
Cool.
Yeah, from East Coast to West Coast.
Great. Well, listen, Carol, it was an absolute pleasure to hear you again tonight.
Yeah, great to be back.
Keep those songs coming, and we'll look forward to hearing you again on here. Daphne?
Thanks so much, Rich.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Carol. That was you just sent me. I've got to say, I would love to come hear you in Berkeley, but California is an enormous state. So that's like 2.5 hours away from where I live, even though I'm in Northern California. But I hope your gig is wonderful.
Thanks.
Yeah, and if you play anywhere in the Sacramento area, make sure that I know about that.
All right.
So We have Charles Absher next from Avondale Estates in Georgia. And he likes to play at the Waller's Coffee Shop, open mic in, oh, I don't know if I can pronounce this, Decatur, Georgia. Maybe he can tell us when he comes on Tuesdays from 7 to 10 in case you are there. So take it away, Charles.
Thank you, Daphne. That's Decatur, Georgia. This is my 6th time on Open Mic America. So I'm just so excited and I love playing it. And as usual, everybody's been wonderful and a lot of good stuff. This song is a love song written about a 50-year anniversary, wedding anniversary, not mine, but my wife's parents. It's called Circles. Skipping stones, wearing 3. What is found in your reality? Circles endless, meet between. Leaves beneath the trail beyond the dream. Where it ends is just a smile to see. What it offers us is rain. If it happened, what would you believe? Dancing snowflake summer breeze. It's not easy bringing forth all the complications, drain support. Every morning, every night, I see you there beneath the fading light. Years beyond us we still seek refrain. Is it knowing where we lie? It encompasses our fleeting breath. Arms are open, hearts denied. Can you feel it? Can we fly? What will it take to keep our love alive? Empty phrases strewn across the path. Is it worth the gift of what we have? So it passes undenied. Will it leave a wake? Will we divide? Infant wanderings, peaceful sky. Behold, it carries us to where we cry. And it will not be a passing storm. It can carry us below. But when I see your smiling eyes appear, I believe we have the love to make it so. Goodbye future, goodbye past. It's the one thing we can make to last. Every morning and every night I see you there beneath the fading light. Wearing stones, skipping 3. struggle just to find reality. Circles endless meet between. Life is what we should have made a dream. But it will not be a crime to say it was once before our time. Smiling faces greet us and we wave. Hearts are mended, love divine. Hearts are mended, love divine.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Divine indeed. Wow.
Thank you. This next song, excuse me, I wrote for the 2018 midterms, but it serves very well for these midterms. And since Tuesday is election day, I thought it would be appropriate to play this song. It's called Get Ready for the Rain. All right, that's the wrong song. People gather round, I got something to say. Storm clouds are coming, gonna wash the chaff away. Come on, get prepared, no time for delay. Get ready for the rain. Sound the alarm, the sky is burning. Sound the alarm, the sky is burning. Sound the alarm, the sky is burning. Get ready for the rain. Telling you now, the time is coming near. People reunited with the families they hold dear. Children will rejoice when we wipe away their tears. Get ready for the rain. Sound the alarm, the sky is burning. Sound the alarm, the sky is burning. Sound the alarm, the sky is burning. Get ready for the rain. The air will be clear, the water will be clean. Sun and the wind gonna make our footprint green. Listening to science will be quite routine. Get ready for the rain. Here we go. Sound the alarm, the fire is burning. Sound the alarm, the sky is burning. Sound the alarm, the sky is burning. Get ready for the rain. Brothers and sisters, come and walk with me a while. Together we can make it Through the coming trial, we will help each other to walk that weary mile. Get ready for the race. Now here in Georgia, we have an alternate chorus that we like to sing. So I'm going to sing it for you right now. Here we go. Get out and vote. The fire is burning. Get out and vote. The fire is burning. Get out and vote. The fire is burning. Stacey Abrams on her way. Here we go, one more time. Get out and vote. The fire is burning. Get out and vote. The fire is burning. Get out and vote. The fire is burning. Stacey Abrams on her way. Stacey Abrams on her way. Stacey Abrams, the next governor of Georgia, is on her way.
Oh, yeah. Amen, brother. It be so.
Your mouth to God's ear.
You had a whole chorus of backup singers
Fabulous.
there.
We're all Georgians now. We're all Georgians. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll
thank you,
second
folks.
that.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll second that. Amen, brother. We'll see, though. These are scary times, aren't they?
Scary times.
They are very. Well, anyway, let's move on. So you've been playing music since high school, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So did you perform in high school, or just play guitars at parties and stuff?
Yeah, we performed. I became a part of a bluegrass band. One of the first, I think the first song I ever sang, somebody mentioned Glenn Campbell, the first song I ever sang in front of people was Gentle on My Mind with the other bluegrass guys who were around me. So, yeah, since high school. I remember the first time I walked into the school cafeteria auditorium and I heard this harmony coming. Crosby, Stills, and Nash.
Oh yeah, you and
I
a
was
million other
immediately
guys.
drawn.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's incredible. I mean, yeah, the three-part harmony when it's done right, it's almost spiritual. I mean,
Yes, it
it's
is.
almost religious.
Yes, it
But
is.
yeah, they were incredible. So never really delved into rock and roll per se, or just stayed on the bluegrass countryside of it.
no, I played in a kind of a country rock band for a while. Played bass, as a matter of fact,
Huh.
and tried to make a living at playing music, but I wasn't very good at it. So,
It's tough.
yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
it's tough
It
to
is
make a
tough.
living at it.
It's- It is. And
Like being in professional sports. A lot of people play, but not a whole lot of people make it.
and the talent. I mean, look at tonight.
Oh,
This, gosh, everybody is so good. It's unbelievable. It really is. It's great. It's great stuff.
yeah. I mean, it just amplifies the fact that in order to make it to the top, I mean, you gotta have talent, but you gotta have a lot of luck. You gotta, work your ass off. I mean, it's kind of crazy. And then, below that level of performers that you see on TV and in, arenas and stuff, there's a lot of really talented, musicians, and we see them on here on Sunday nights. So I think next what happened is you got into life and you went and got a degree and kind of the guitar kind of set off to the side, and then you picked it up again just kind of as a stress relief and to get you through life, right?
You've been reading my profile, haven't you?
No, I just looked at you and I could see you're that type of guy. Well, it's it's a reasonable story. I mean, a lot of us went through there. I mean, I played guitar in high school and college, and then got married and had kids, and didn't pick up my guitar again until my 16-year-old son said, "Hey, teach me guitar," and and then music comes back into your life. You know what I mean? Um, so do you prefer playing solo, like you did here tonight, and maybe when you go out and do open mics and stuff like that, or do you miss not being in a band with a bunch of other people and singing harmony and stuff like that?
Well, actually, I love both. I have been in two bands for the past 2 years. One of the bands has broken up recently, but I am in another band. In fact, we've got a gig on Saturday night at a local coffee house, Lena's Place, and we're going to be along with another group that is just wild, very good, and have been around Atlanta for quite a while, and we're really excited about that. But I think it's important to do both, because the dynamics are different. When you're solo, you're out there by yourself, nothing else, everything. And when you're in a band, you have others with you to kind of cover you, when you don't know what you're doing, which is, for me, is most of the time. But also, it allows you as a group to sing that harmony, to be able to present a more varied sound, if you will. It's very difficult to be just so super solo that you don't need anybody else, but it's good to do that. I think it's good to keep that in your repertoire and keep doing that, because it gives you a appreciation of the benefits and the disadvantages of both sides.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. Yeah. When you're doing solo and you screw up, I mean, it's easy to to fix it. But when you're playing with a bunch of other people and you screw up,
oh yeah,
the whole thing sounds
that
bad.
is a whole nother dynamic too. Yeah.
So, your songs, typically, where do the ideas come from? I mean, certainly the one about Stacey Abrams, that little part of it comes from what's going on today. You also, I heard a song. It's hard to say I'm a Christian, which had kind of a spiritual kind of thing to it. Do you find that creeping into your songs?
Well, it's hard to say. I'm not very prolific. That particular song came from a songwriting workshop where we paired together with folks. And this person just first, when we got together to talk and interview each other, first thing she said was, sometimes I just can't tell people I'm a Christian because of the way things are. And in my own spiritual journey, it really hit a chord with me. And so that's where that song came from. The song, Get Ready for the Rain. The germ of that song came from an Eliza Gilkison workshop out near Taos, New Mexico, where she said somebody needs to set a fire under people and get them to the polls and all this stuff. And so that's where that song came from. I don't know, that it just hits me every so often, and I come up with something.
Yeah, well, it sounds great.
Thank you.
It really sounds good. Hey, you sound great tonight, and we look forward to having you back on here. And thanks again.
I hope so.
For joining us, sharing your music. Daphne, back to you.
Thank you so much, Charles. And now we're going to go to Tacoma, Washington. That's our second Washington person, besides our interviewer. We're going to hear from Evan Purcell. And Evan likes to sing at a place that I'm still trying to wrap my head around its name, or maybe to digest it. It's called the Antique Sandwich Company in Tacoma, Washington. So, Mr. Evan Purcell, the stage is all yours.
Well, thanks. What's what I do here? Well, it's fun to be here. Music's been great tonight. I really appreciate everybody's stuff. It's just terrific.
this song, this one I'm playing right now, came out of COVID finally caught me, and I was quarantining in the basement in a state of fever, and this song sort of snuck out from a show from a program I saw. So anyway, brand new, so we'll try it out. What's the use in counting down our final days? One more step, we're finally on our way. Well, it feels over, but at least we tried. And in that moment where you reconcile, that no matter where you are, all hours turn to days. To keep himself from being pulled under, the 100-year-old marathon runner gets lost or finds his way, shoulder to the road, day after day, alone. Someone finds the words to bring you down. Someone finds their way into your heart. We break rules or we make amends. Do we start over when the story ends? Do we feel closer now or just further apart? 'Cause life is always there to pull you under. The 100-year-old marathon runner seems to find his way under a canopy of trees, out along the road, underneath the airy breeze, underneath the stormy sky and the threat of rain. And there are promises to keep before the night begins. Remember how it was when we were young, when everything we finished was enough. The same dreams that we tried to save were just as easy to give away, when the years somehow turned back into days, leaving questions no one bothered to explain. In the time it takes to pull you under, the 100-year-old marathon runner sets out anyway, down the open road, with miles to defeat as he leaves and makes his way home.
Beautiful song.
Sweet,
Oh,
sweet,
gorgeous,
sweet
gorgeous song and singing.
Thanks, guys. That was fabulous, man. Yeah, that was great.
This is called The Big Hello. Well, I'll take whatever as I get 'em. The only chance I'll be forgiven. Just be careful when a little bit of dust gets in your eye. I try to give more than others take, 'cause this heart makes the best mistakes. Be easy on yourself, everything will be alright. Just keep living the life you love. Say goodbye to the long goodbye. Yeah, move on up to the big hello. finally gonna get it right. Well, I only lose things I can't find. Hold what I can, leave the rest behind. Here's the thing about your heart, you're gonna need it for a little while. When every argument circles round, come find me, darling, and we'll work it out. You don't need much to pack if you don't forget to pack your smile. You wanna love the life you live, say goodbye to the long goodbye. We're breaking out the big hello, and we're finally gonna get it right. And then beneath the shelter of the sky, together you and I will make our way. When so much of what you love is the love you make. Well, I'll only lose things I can't find. Hold what I can, leave the rest behind. Here's the thing about your heart, you're gonna need it for a little while. To love the life you live, say goodbye to the long goodbye. And move on up to the big hello. Hey, we're finally gonna get it right. Finally gonna get it right.
Yeah.
Great lyric.
Yes.
That was
yes.
good, man.
Makes the best mistake.
Fabulous. Yeah.
Good.
Love it, love it, love it.
All right. Hey, Evan. I'm up here about an hour's drive north of you.
It's an
here.
hour's drive, Rich.
Yeah, Bainbridge Island. Lovely Bainbridge Island. Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
Great weather we're having, huh?
It's cold. I'm in the basement and I've got the space heater on behind me. I'm like, my hands warm.
I hear you, man. I'm upstairs in my office. I got my t-shirt on, but I got my hoodie on.
Got to go see. I'm wearing my hoodie too. Exactly.
That's right.
Yeah.
Hey, great sound. Listen, how long have you been writing music?
Well, I've been writing ever since I started playing. So I think I don't know, what was that like? I think I was 13 or something. So always have tried to write. Always played in bands that wrote their own stuff. Yeah. So,
I'm just wondering, for a lot of us who've been, at this for a long time and, written songs for a long time, have you ever gone back and played some of your, really early original stuff?
Yeah, probably. I probably have. It's certainly gotten better over the years. I will say that. I probably not too much. First band I was in, Sorcerer. I should give a shout out to Sorcerer.
Oh, yeah.
But, those are pretty good. But I probably don't go back and play those too many times.
Yeah. So how would you describe your music? Because I was listening to the first song, and the first song actually sounded to me like something I might hear on an alternative rock playlist, and the second one was more like had more of a country feel to it.
That's what I think you described it pretty well, Rich. It's maybe a little bit of it. I will say this: I think my songs sort of just come out of wherever they come out of, and sometimes I feel like they come out a little more that sort of maybe rock or alternative sort of vein, and sometimes they come out very folky. I just try to catch whatever I can catch, and I don't get too picky about. I'm trying not to be too picky. I'm like, okay, I got one. All right.
Yeah, that's right.
It's finished.
I think it was Dylan who said, "Hey, man, the songs come flying by. If you don't grab it, somebody else will."
Yeah.
Right.
I started this pandemic. I started doing a songwriting workshop with a guy out of Portland, Matt Megan, who also does this program, and really helped to that really helped to get more songs out, just finished. And, I think I really sort of struggled with trying to just get songs done. You might get a verse, you might get a verse and a chorus, you might just get an idea. And I think that workshop has really helped me to sort of like, well, I've got a deadline. I got to get this thing done by next week. So I better finish it. So that's been really helpful for me.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of truth to that. When you have a deadline, it's amazing how you can actually finish a song. Other than saying,
I never knew that. I never knew that before, that I would work under pressure like that. So,
so you were in a band. You're in a band called the Prairie Dogs.
Yep.
So is that still going on?
I still play with the. There was two songwriters in that group, myself and a gentleman named Michael Shin, who's out of lives in Portland now. And Mike and I get together a couple times a year and just, play music and just have a great time. He's also done this workshop. He's the one that told me about it. And so we don't play as a band out, but I do enjoy playing with those musicians from that band. It's quite a bit of fun. So.
Yeah, it adds a little more fun than just doing the solo thing. Yeah, I know. So, and also I noticed, doing my stalking on YouTube. So you did some songs with a lady by the name of Ellen Norton.
Yes, she's quite talented. That happens to be my wife.
I wasn't going to jump to that conclusion. I was going to let you tell me. Yeah.
So we, she doesn't like to sing that much. She has a lovely voice, so
she does.
I really enjoy, singing with her, and it makes it quite nice. So this pandemic, we were working on learning some new songs and some covers of songs, and she had some songs that she wanted to play, and so I thought, let's. And then we thought we'd post them up because I thought they turned out quite nice, so we put them on the.
They
web.
did, and you had your pet dog in those videos too. It was a family affair. It was very nice. Yeah,
very much.
Well, I'll tell you, you guys sound really good together.
Oh, thank you.
So just
I'll pass that along.
Pass that along. Someone she doesn't know thought that you guys sound really, really good together. Good. And who knows? Maybe you could come back and perform with her on this program.
Well, we'll see.
I'm just saying.
I'm not saying no, but I'm just saying we'll see, Rich.
Okay. So a last question. Do you do mainly originals?
I do.
Some covers in there as well.
Yeah, very few covers. I just don't. I'm trying to think if I do any covers when I play. I may do one, but it would be sort of not much.
Right.
I just sort of go with what I've got. This is what it is. This is who I am.
Life is good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen. Hey, Evan, it was really great. Great hearing you perform tonight.
It's been a super fun night.
Songs.
Everybody's super talented. So great.
All right. Well, come on back.
Thank you.
All right. Daphne, back to you.
Wow. Thank you, Evan. And we're coming to that time in the evening where we have only one more performer. Someone who's been with us before, and we are going to let him take us home. Mark Bishop Evans from Phoenix, Arizona, who likes to play at the Tempe Center for the Arts Walk-In Wednesday and the Arizona Live Music Co-op. Mark Bishop Evans, take us home.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Daph. All right. Well, this is a song off my recently released CD. It's called The Mockingbird. As twilight slips tonight, the moon is on the rise. Beneath the fading light,
whippoorwill arrives. He settles to the ground, there to sing his songs, soft and lovely sound, for love to sing along. While high up in the trees, a mockingbird appears, and on that gentle breeze he mimics what he hears. And to the creatures in the night, the songs both sound the same. So the whippoorwill takes flight, and the mockingbird's to blame. And the whippoorwill is calling in the night, and he hopes true love will hear, while the mockingbird is answering in kind, makes him think his love is near. The road is often long, the toll is always high. Those who have the song will always find the sky. And though they fly alone and leave the night behind, their hearts remain their own, and love is theirs to find. And the whippoorwill is calling in the night, and he hopes true love will hear, while the mockingbird's answer is unkind, makes him think his love is near. So it is they play the story of our lives and our endless hope for love, while the mockingbirds are singing in the night, not a friend to anyone. And the mockingbird is laughing in the dawn, never caring what he's done.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow.
Nice. Nice.
Mockingbird. Grew up in the South. I know what you're talking about.
So this next song is the last album I just did is songs about love, more or less. You know, I mean, and this next CD, the album that I started last Thursday, actually, is going to be songs about justice. All kinds of justice, social justice, environmental justice, economic justice, etc. And this is one of the songs that's going to be on that album. It's called Golden Trees.
in fertile fields of waving corn stalks. A battered scarecrow stands alone, guarding acres for his master, who's not home. Day after day, he keeps on standing, gently swaying in the breeze. Someone please go tell the master, won't you please hear the song of my swaying? Please hear the cry from the land. Please hear Mother Earth is dying, dying to have someone understand. Scarecrow's clothes are growing ragged, his straw is falling to the ground, and as his life falls out, his shirt sleeves landing all around. The crows are circling high above him, busy casing just like thieves. Someone please go tell the master, won't you please hear the song of my swaying? Please hear the cry from the land. Please hear Mother Earth is dying, dying to have someone understand. Scarecrow's legs are growing weaker. A gust of wind has blown him down. Now he's lying near his mother, along past fertile ground. The birds flew down to take their vengeance, beating down the golden trees. Still from the distance comes a whisper, asking, please hear the song of my swaying. Please hear the cry from the land. Please hear Mother Earth is dying, dying to have someone understand.
That's a knockout.
Woo! Beautifully haunting, man.
That's smart.
Wonderful.
Ah,
Yeah.
Great, great. To see. Oh.
No, you're okay now. You're
Am
okay.
I okay? Thanks.
Yep.
Let me come back to that. So
try
Mark,
that again. Try that
there
again.
we go.
Rich.
Hey, great to see you, Mark. You know, you're the only performer I know that has 3 names.
No, there's a lot of them out there. Yeah.
So, you know, I've seen you perform a number of different venues here. So you grew up in Southern California, right?
Yeah.
And so you're really into Gordon Lightfoot, you know, the folk rock kind of thing, and Dylan, Peter, Paul, and Mary, and beach music, early '60s, right? Yeah, we all
that's it. Yeah.
all love that stuff. So, and that inspired you to begin writing songs. So you've been writing songs a long time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the songs that you wrote back then, and the songs that you're writing now, have the melodies or the type of music changed a lot?
Well,
I mean, the words probably have.
What you have here is a perfect example. Okay. The Mockingbird, the first song I did, was written last year. No, I take that back. It was written this year.
Okay.
It's written probably March of this year. Golden Trees was originally written probably in 1970 something. Okay. So I don't know. You tell me. Are they different? They sound very kind of similar to me, but that's because that's how I'm playing them, you know.
Yeah. No, I think they do too. Because so that leads me into kind of my next question here. So over the years, you've been in all kinds of things, right? Where you've gone through folk rock, pop, country, gospel, and then back to folk, right?
Yeah.
And so when you were doing the folk rock scene, were you in a band, or was it just you once again on the guitar doing kind of folk rock?
It was me and a drum machine playing in nightclubs, you know. And occasionally I would team up with a couple of other players, like a bass player and a keyboard player, or a bass player and a lead guitar player, if there was a special occasion for that, a wedding gig, or a nightclub gig, and but rarely. I'd say 95% of everything I've done over the last 50 years has been solo.
Interesting. Is it because you're so difficult to get along with?
That could be it. I don't know. I think it's got more to do with I try to avoid collaborations. I just the entanglements, I just it's much easier just to do it by myself than to try to coordinate and deal with other, if I don't like the way they do it, I have a really hard time of saying I don't like that. It's difficult for me to say that, so if I don't have to do that, that's fine.
I fully understand. It's if you're doing covers then with somebody else, then everybody knows what they're supposed to play. But if it's one of your personal songs and somebody tries to throw something in there that you don't feel fits, then it's an issue, right? Because it's part of you. Right. And if it's not what you wanted the song to hear, then yeah, you get into discussions with the other performers. So I understand where you're coming from.
You can call them discussions, yes. Yeah.
Well,
that's a nice thing, Rich.
Well, I'll tell you what, in the right band or whatever, if it's your song, you get to say, no, wait a minute, don't play that, right? But you're right. I mean, egos get in the way, and then it's no fun anymore. So, in the 90s, you moved back east, right?
I did.
So, and why did you leave Paradise and move back east?
God, there's only one good reason for that, and it's not even a good reason, but there's only one reason. I followed a woman.
Oh, okay. It's a great. That's a great reason.
You know, and yeah, and I ended up in the Boston area, and actually, you know, I mean, I'm not going to say I'm a fan of blizzards and nor'easters and snow, but the music community on the East Coast and especially in the Northeast is just fabulous, you know, and it's traditional folk and bluegrass, traditional bluegrass, and it was really inspirational for me. And I met some wonderful people, and I've got some great friends there, you know. So, yeah, you know, it's cool.
Yeah, so then you decided enough of that, and you moved to Arizona, right? Phoenix.
Well, it wasn't like I decided enough of that. It was like I retired, and and I have a motorcycle, and I like to ride the motorcycle,
Not in the winter.
and I was looking for some place where I could ride the motorcycle more than, a quarter of the year, you know, which is about what it is back east, you know. So the Southwest it sounded like a good thing, and there's just a fabulous community
Oh,
of musicians here in the Phoenix area, and I got locked into them, you know, and it's great. I love it.
yeah, you really are in a great place because I'm friends with some of the same people. You're Glenn Gardner and Cowboy Rex.
Cowboy
And
Rex, yeah.
right, and I see the posts. I mean, once a week, there's the Arizona Live Music Co-op, which you play at.
Yeah.
And then there's what was the other? There's another one with a beautiful building.
Tempe Center for the Arts. It's amazing.
Incredible venue. I've never been there, but the pictures are incredible.
Oh, it's fabulous. Yeah. It's one of those places where you need cover photos or you need publicity photos. You know, just go play there and let somebody start taking pictures. You know, it's one of those places, you know.
Yeah, no, that you moved to a great place for music. I mean, what a great place. So you just released your new album.
Yes.
No Guarantee.
No Guarantee.
It's got 14 songs on it.
Yeah.
And so I know you mentioned it. You've got a new one coming out, you hope, by the end of December, right? It's called Justice.
Well, it's songs about justice, but
Oh,
I think
okay.
I really haven't settled on a title yet, but we're leaning towards Bitter Wind, you know.
Okay.
So.
Oh, that's one of the songs, right?
Right. Or it might end up being Paradise is Burning. So you know.
Yeah. Well, I've heard Bitter Wind. I think you performed it somewhere I was listening to, maybe Music Matters Showcase. I don't know. It's something. It's a great song.
Yeah, thank you.
So my question to you though is, so you just finished an album,
Right.
and now you're working on another one that you hope to be out. Everything goes right by the end of the year. How many songs do you have in the pipeline?
Right now that I haven't recorded,
Yes.
25 maybe.
Wow. So you're a pretty prolific songwriter.
Well, at times, yeah. Sometimes it just comes, and when it starts coming, you know, I mean, it's like, well, right now I'm working really hard on not writing any songs, because I've got so many that need to be recorded that, and you know, I look at it this way: is like, you know, if you go out and buy a really nice shirt, you know, and then you put it, you wear it, and you put it in your closet, and you get to wear it, you know, and then you go out and buy another shirt. Pretty soon you've got, 20 shirts in your closet, and there's no way you can wear them all, right? So, I got to wear the shirts. I got to get the songs recorded that I have now, and then once that's done, then I'm going to feel free to start, producing more songs. I'm writing down ideas and things like that, but I'm working really hard at not writing.
Yeah, it's interesting you mention that because it is true, right? Right, because there's a certain amount of work that goes into writing songs, right? Quiet time, and then there's a certain amount of work different from that goes into recording,
right,
and making. And so I can imagine that if you're committed to one, it's you've got to put the other one on hold, right?
And at least that's how it works for me. Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense. Hey, well, listen, man, it was really enjoyable hearing you play tonight and being able to interview you. And we look forward to hearing you again on here and other places that we,
Well, when
might
you
play in.
popped on the screen, I was going, "Great! I get to hear Rich tonight." But then now you're just talking to me. You're not
I'm just
playing
talking.
music
I
to me,
know.
man.
Yeah. Well, I'll be on, I think, sometime next month or something.
Okay.
Anyway, good seeing you. Okay, Daphne, back to you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mark Bishop Evans. And you're right. We have people who wear many hats around here. Performers are also on our hosting team, doing engineering. So, yeah, you might see Rich, but you don't know what you're going to see him doing at any given moment. So, there. Anyway, it's been a wonderful evening with all of you. Just a quick run through. Thank you, Paul Colombino, Dan and Faith, Hank Stone, Stuart Campbell, Carol Wise, Charles Absher, Evan Purcell, and Mark Bishop Evans. Don't forget to look for links to all their work on our website and on this YouTube video. Also, we want to thank our interviewing host, Rich Fassler, and our engineer, Evan Acey, who's kind of hiding out and doing all the engineering. Also, both performers. And of course, the man who works tirelessly behind the scene, our founder, Capo Dave Williams. Don't
Thanks
forget.
to Daphne for doing a great job, Daphne.
It's my pleasure. You can download and print your own posters and even t-shirts. You saw somebody wearing one of those t-shirts in all kinds of colors. You can get it from their website. Please check out your local and virtual open mics. We have them all listed on the website. And our next show is November 13th. That's next week. With Evan Acey, who is now the engineer. He's going to be the MC. See what I mean? A new interviewing team, Penny and Rob Cork, who are also performers, and Alice Osborne, who is also a performer, is going to be our engineer. So stay tuned for the next full lineup, same time, same station. And now we're all going to wave goodbye to you and see you next week. And good night, America.
If you meet me at the corner of Russell and Albina, just about a block from Mississippi Avenue, I'll take you to a house where they hang carpets on the wall. And if we go there on a Sunday, there's a song I'll take you through.